Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the big show 3.0. Preston Lions versus South Melbourne at Jenner Steel Stadium. The biggest fixture on the NPL Victoria calendar in Senol NPL Victoria Round 8. It is a blockbuster on a Saturday afternoon. My name is Josh Parrish here with Mark Ivkovic and Ivka. As long as Preston have been in the top flight, even the Cup game the year before they returned, these fixtures have been absolute classics. Are we expecting more of the same today?
I think we're in store for a very, very competitive game, especially with the team that South Melbourne's come to Jenner Steel Stadium with. You know, it's probably a lot stronger than a lot of people expected, so it's going to be a fascinating contest.
Well, Sinisa Kohadzic has opted to prioritise this game ahead of the match against Auckland FC in Fiji tomorrow. So he will fly out tonight. The rest of the squad will join them. He's only sent 14 players to this game in order to name 9 of his preferred starting 11. We'll take you through the team news in a moment. But it is 5 years since the tragic passing of former Preston goalkeeping coach Gotse Gruevski, a beloved figure here in Reservoir. So we'll start with a minute's silence. Minute silence impeccably observed. And you can see there Gotse's son walking out with the team and participating in the pre-game handshakes, which is a very nice touch indeed. We'll take you through the starting lineups. For South Melbourne, just 2 changes from the side who disposed of Dandenong City 4-2 in their last league outing. Campbell Dovison and Ethan O'Sullivan come in at centre forward and right back respectively to replace Jack Painter-Andrews and Geordie Swibble, who've travelled to Fiji. Harvey Lopez between the sticks, Jacob Oleopoulos and Marko Jankovic at the back, Jordan Lampard at left back, a midfield axis of Seb Pasquale and Tom Yiannakopoulos, and swarming around in the final third, Yuki Uchida, Max Mikola and Noel Bernarda. It's their bench depth that will be tested today, South Melbourne, with several members of the under-23s elevated to the senior squad again. Thierry Papadimitriou, Angus Angelatos, Jerry Angelatos, Jake Brown and Jaden Schmerling. And a return for Luca Durso, who suffered a serious knee injury last season. Good to see him back in the fold. For Preston, 3 changes from the side that went down 3-2 against Hume City before the cup break. Stefan Zinni is injured. Luke Francis and Zach Chianchi drop to the bench. It appears to be a strikerless system, with Sion Cuba and Naoki Suto occupying the most advanced roles in the lineup. Emil Payos moves back into midfield alongside George Michailidis. Stefan Nigro at left back. Jake Tchaikovsky manning the centre of defence with the returning Jamal Ali. And Dom Felino shifting across to right back, his natural position. On the flanks, Leighton Brooks and Jonas Markovsky. And on the bench, Jason Romero, Ollie Kubalay, Matt Bozanovsky and Mayan Mayan. So looking at those 2 teams, Ivka, what are you expecting from each of them based on the lineups that we've seen, Nate?
Well, it's going to be interesting for South Melbourne. Like you said, the depth isn't there today, so they're going to have to get off to a good start. And for Preston, well, a bit of a formation change for them this afternoon compared to the opening 7 games, where they just haven't found that right rhythm going forward. Neither Francis or Romero or Markovsky, even Brooks, tried in that number 9 position has worked. So, you know, can't really try anyone else in that position. So why not just change the way you approach it? And it'll be interesting to see with those late runs from Cuba and Suto, Markovsky and Brooks all rotating. It'll be interesting to see how South Melbourne deal with them.
Well, we're off. A rollicking atmosphere as always in this fixture. Both sets of active supporters in full voice, which is great to see. It's Preston in the all-red, kicking from left to right. South Melbourne, of course, in the all-blue. And you can see Jonas Markovsky not playing up front today. He's deployed as a winger. Naoki Suto is perhaps the false nine, if you'd call it that.
Should give him a big advantage in the midfield as well, Preston, with Kuba and Suto dropping in, Markovsky and Brooks probably tucking in as well. They should have a huge numerical advantage in the middle of the park.
Throw short to Brooks, who felt his heels were clipped. Play goes on. Jack Morgan, reigning NPL Victoria Referee of the Year. He's in charge of this one, fittingly so.
Speaking about squad depths, that bench for Preston today, though, is heavily stacked. Kublai returning for the first time this season as well.
Got some minutes in the cup against Nunawading. That was enough to convince Zoran Markovsky he's worthy of a bench spot after a very disrupted pre-season.
That man there, Jamal Ali, he's the key inclusion for Preston this afternoon. Sorely missed in their last league game against Hume, where a number of defensive issues in that game.
Returning from international duty with Eritrea. They had a victory over 2 legs in African Nations Cup qualification against Eswatini. So, a bit of a whirlwind worldwide trip for Jamal Ali as he comes back for this fixture. Cheetah diving down the line, winning a throw rather than a corner, but I don't think South Melbourne particularly mind either way. Max Mikler, of course, famous for his deadly long throw-ins. South Melbourne will go to the tried and true early doors here. Nicola with the bait and switch, he's gone short. Pasquale chopping back onto his right to tee up the cross, and Ryan Scott this time very confidently off his line to restart play with the attempted drop kick, and it doesn't come off as he'd imagined.
I've got a new pet hate, Josh. I hate short corners. I think I hate short throw-ins even more.
Maybe they're just trying to keep the Preston defence guessing off the next throw. Can't afford to stack the box too heavily. Players hitting the deck. Cross comes in towards Mikola. Foligno does enough to clear. Neolides had a swing at it, but couldn't connect. So it's Ethan O'Sullivan, who has a long throw in his repertoire as well. He's going to leave it for Mikola.
Something tells me this one's going to end up in the box, Josh.
Mikola hearing it from the Preston fans. A long launch to the near post. Didn't quite get the distance he would have liked. On a dewy day in Melbourne's northern suburbs.
Also not much gap from that fence line to the touch line.
Sure, Preston are not bringing the lines in this week.
I did see in last year's game here at Jenna Steele Stadium that he really struggled with those throws in that game.
Powell sliding in and losing out. It's going to be Lampard. Letting the ball roll into his path. It's a wicked cross. Foligno is well positioned. And Preston hemmed in at the moment. South Melbourne were licking their lips when they saw how Preston struggled off defensive set pieces against Hume City, but with Jamal Ali back there, the problem shouldn't be as pronounced. Dovison. Shout for a handball against Dovison. He might sit for the strike for O'Sullivan, and then Pasquale, with a bending effort, was always well wide of the target. First sighted goal in the game, and you can see South Melbourne aggressively pursuing those second balls already you've got.
Well, they'll be aware of the poor starts that Preston have had this season as well. Virtually in every game bar one against St Albans, they've gotten off to some really poor starts in games, Preston. It's been an ongoing issue so far. The second half performances have been a lot better, and and that's where they tend to get back into the game. But every week they just seem to start very slowly in that opening 45. So I'm sure South would have done their homework on that and put the foot down early on to try and get an early lead and put the pressure on them.
Jankovic down the line for Mikola, standing up Payos. Payos stood his ground. Now Sion Cuba with an opening. Markovski to cross first time. It's a dangerous delivery. And it gave South Melbourne plenty to think about in defence. O'Sullivan and Eliopoulos getting in each other's way. Eventually the danger is swept clear. Really well done by Dovison there to keep the ball in play.
You can see that change of formation for Preston. That's one of the benefits of it. A lot of numbers in the box. I'm not really sure where the runs are coming from, South Melbourne. And you've got that traditional striker. You just tend to leave him in the box and maybe another winger, but they had 4 or 5 players in the box there.
Melbourne trying to bait Preston forward out of their shape. Marko Jankovic fast approaching 200 Victorian appearances in the top flight. Give it away, but Preston couldn't make the most of it.
And that's the con of that formation change for Preston, is that there's no outlet in that type of build-up play. South Melbourne recognise that as the game goes on. It's probably better to let Preston just have the ball and be compact in those attacking phases. It'll be much easier for them to defend against.
Lampard drifting inside. He's got Mikola wide in support. The 1v1 for Max Mikola against Foligno. Well defended by Dom Foligno. Mr. Reliable at the back for Preston. And Suto would have been offside and he knew it.
Strange run from Suto. He initially made it, didn't get the ball, and then didn't come back to be onside.
Ali with the chest control and clearance. A nervy start from Preston so far. No real big chances of note for either side. It's Pasquale. Like what was ahead of him, goes wide to Dovison. Flipped on by Brooks. Suto never really in the chase. Preston could get pinned back here if they don't have that outlet up front. Sorry, Markovski was expected to dominate more of the ball in midfield. Lampard. Drilled in low. Bernarda with an inadvertent collision against Ali. Oh, it's got skids in. He was sliding for a base on the diamond and keeps that one in play. Not sure if that's the correct terminology. Baseball's not my forte, I must confess.
Sounds about right.
He was safe anyway. And Suto again falling afoul of the offside line.
Heavily offside. It was a good 5 metres offside there. If history tells us anything, Josh, the last few times these two have met, both league games last year, both games got off to a fairly slow start, and all it needs is just one moment for the game to really explode. And early on, no one really wants to make a mistake or give anything away, but I'm sure as we continue throughout this game, it's going to get going. Just feeling each other out at the moment.
Mikola. Lampard. Well, South Melbourne's play coming down this strong left-hand side. Giannakopoulos turning into trouble. And Suto brought down cynically by Eliopoulos. Could be the first man in the book here. Maybe just a warning early doors from Jack Morgan.
So it was an intentional foul. Preston were away on a counter-attack then.
Not considering the unwritten rule of not giving yellow cards for the first foul. I think that's what referees refer to euphemistically as common sense. Payoffs. Suto. Just one to aim for in the box. Jonas Markovski chops in field. It's a decent delivery too. Well dealt with by Eliopoulos. Suto lost it for a moment. Now Markovski. Payos. Chip shot to the back post, and Leighton Brooks never really had a chance.
It's a big afternoon for Jonas Markovski, given another opportunity again in the starting lineup. Bit of a different role for him. Probably where he was playing his best football for Altona Magic a few seasons ago, where he won the Golden Boot, was in that wide attacking position. Did rotate a lot throughout that season. He's displaced Chianchi in the lineup today.
Superb touch from Uchida, and this is a real chance on now for South. Uchida cuts it back. Stefan Negro aware of the danger. Spills back to Lampard. Uchida with space and time. Come up with another attacking scheme. It's elegant footwork from the Japanese playmaker. And it misses everybody in the middle. He is pure excitement and class when he goes forward with the ball at his feet. Yuki Uchida, what a player he's been since his arrival in the top flight.
He's got his work cut out for him this afternoon, Dom Felino.
Especially with Mikola and Uchida drifting into that space. Be 2v1 before you know it. Suto. Cuba. Have a bit more attacking freedom today in a more advanced midfield role. Position we're more accustomed to seeing him in over his time with Altona Magic and then Avondale. This is Cuba. Spinning away from Pasquale. Finding the feed to Felino, who fancied a strike on goal. Harvey Lopez never looked particularly perturbed.
He just never looked like he was comfortable taking that shot. Felino was always drifting away from him, off balance.
He's got many strengths on the pitch. Goal scoring, not really one of them. He had one memorable goal against Oakley Cannons in last year's elimination final. His only Preston goal in over 2 years at the club. Flicked on by Pasquale. Uchida, a clever touch, but Jake Tchaikovsky is back. Cover his central defensive partner. Well done by Markovski. Jonas Markovski really well controlled, and Preston can motor forward down the left. Daniel Payos working his way back from long-term injury, that broken leg last year. To bide his time. Had to fill in at right back last time out against Hume, which is well outside his comfort zone. Brooks. Clever pass from Brooks. Cuba helps it on. Mihalides making the run.
It's the wrong ball from Cooper, needed to be along the ground.
Pasquale cleverly finding the gap. Now Bernardo sending it out wide to Dovison, and South Melbourne will restart. Take their time in possession. Yankovic. Nice touch. South Melbourne player, says the assistant referee on the near side.
It's going to be a fascinating battle in the middle of the park. Mihalides versus Pasquale. Mihalides fresh coming off the Young Player of the Month award that he received.
Lovely first touch from Bernardo. Second one wasn't bad either. Dovison trying to beat Stefan Negro for pace. And He'll settle for a throw. And South Melbourne's record here at BT Connor is pretty good historically. They've won 12 of their 18 matches at this venue. Of course, Preston got the better of them last time out, 2-0. After Jonathan Pethulis, the goalkeeper, was sent off for being caught in possession and dragging down Jason Romero. And it all went south for South Melbourne from there. Side transformed since last season. And this time last season at least. Yanakopoulos. Mialides. Now there's numbers forward for Preston, but the ball was left short for Suto. Given away by Lampard though. Miscommunication between him and Mikola. Markovski, can he muscle his way through? Cuba trying to stay on side. Cleverly disguised pass from Markovski, but the momentum is drained from the attack. What can Cuba create here? Stands it up, dangerous ball. Leighton Brooks couldn't get clean contact. Big chance, Preston.
Big chance for Preston. It's great work by Markovski in that build-up play. It's a good ball into the area. Brooks needed to force his way through, just get a proper connection on it.
He just reacted slightly late.
Speaking about that game last year, Josh, it feels like a lifetime ago for South Melbourne that game was. It's completely transformed since then.
Game seemed like the beginning of the end of the Esteban Quintas era. Of course, Sinisa Kahadzic came in a couple of months later, and the rest is history. Can't make it out on the stream. There's a lot of fans sheltering in the main grandstand. Standing room only at the back, and it is packed to the rafters.
It's a fairly good turnout for considering these conditions this afternoon.
Not in Preston's normal Friday night time slot either. Orthodox Easter this weekend, of course, so all things considered, well done to the fans who've braved the weather and come down to see this blockbuster game on the Victorian football calendar. Simmering, but yet to really spring to life. Dovison. Drifted wide now with Banana playing through the middle up top. Payos. Spreading the play to Jonas Markovski. Early delivery. Maliopoulos missed it. Yanakopoulos was back to cover. And Jankovic will put his foot through this one. Well, it works out beautifully for South Melbourne. Machida forced backwards. And clear hold from Payos on Mikola. Relieves the pressure.
These crosses into the box are really giving South Melbourne a few headaches at the moment. Really struggling to clear their lines from those entries into the box from Preston.
Wrestling match on between Bernarda and Ali. The Eritrea international wins out. Well, he may have made his international debut over Doherty Cup weekend. Not the first time he's donned the Eritrean colours. If you follow the African Nations Cup tournament here in Melbourne, he's twice lifted the trophy for them, alongside his erstwhile teammate Amir Abdullah, who is set to join him at Preston this season before opportunities sprang up professionally in the Middle East.
A lot of Preston's build-up players coming through this right-hand side. Very rarely have they gone to Brooks to start that build-up play.
Looking back historically at this fixture, Preston have had some famous wins over South Melbourne, but they've been few and far between in recent years. South Melbourne have only lost 3 times against Preston in 34 years.
Sure of this formation change just yet for Preston.
Hasn't exactly clicked.
No, I feel like they lack that presence, you know, occupying Jankovic and Eliopoulos.
Slid through for Bernarda. Uchida. And Uchida goes to ground. And Ryan Scott telling Yuki Uchida exactly what he thinks of his efforts to win a penalty. Well, it was a nervy moment for Dom Foligno there, who sprang up in protest immediately. Didn't look like a huge amount in it.
No, I don't think he was looking for a foul though, Yoshida. There was contact there, but obviously he's won the ball first.
Just because you've fallen over doesn't mean you've dived necessarily.
Correct.
Players lose their balance, especially in these conditions.
Yes, absolutely. Belting down at the moment.
Ryan Scott, the Preston captain, embracing the derby spirit early doors, shall we say. Fired up. Foligno. The rain really coming down at Genesteel Stadium now.
I'm sure some of these South Melbourne players wish they were with their teammates in Fiji at the moment.
This is proper football weather. Worked out to Dom Foligno. Things to really aim for in the box. Preston have had plenty of crosses. They're not playing a striker. Probably not the best route to goal.
That's what Suto or Cooper need to make those runs into the box, though. That's their role, really, in this formation. So only Brooks the target in there. Just wonder if Zoran Markovsky persists with it or makes a change.
You could make a change without making a substitution necessarily. Jonas Markovsky can play as the centre forward. Probably too early to abandon the plan, though. It's blowing a gale at BT. Mihalides. Cut back towards Emil Payos. Preston assembling numbers around the South Melbourne penalty area. Suto, Brooks. Markovsky on the spin. Still Markovsky. And an unconvincing clearance from Lampard. Lopez comes out to punch. Now Negro. The left-footed delivery. Hacked away by Jankovic. And cleared by O'Sullivan, and South Melbourne can breathe for a moment.
It's risky by Lopez to come out for that one as this rain pours down. Had to make sure he got a clean connection on it.
It's really a glancing touch, but in the right direction. Like a hold on Ali. Jack Morgan will let the play run with Preston still in possession.
Just see the calmness that Ali's brought to this Preston defence coming back into the lineup.
Cuba strayed beyond the last defender. Wouldn't have got there anyway. Lampard. See the left back often inverting to even up the numbers in midfield. Dolverson. Superb sliding challenge from Negro. Draws a cheer from the Preston faithful in the grandstands. Oh, now Mikola spots an opening. Max Mikola delivers to the far post. Pasquale was in acres of space and fluffed his lines. Tough to hit that flush on the volley, but he was all on his own, Seb Pasquale.
Preston got away with that one. Really poor clearance from Leighton Brooks. Scuffed at it, gave the ball back to South Melbourne in a really dangerous position.
Jankovic was down clutching his face. Jonas Markowski pleading his innocence.
As soon as the ball went out just before, the Preston coaching staff demanding a bit more from their players and telling them to stick to what they were told to do. They've obviously come in with a clear game plan for this afternoon. Imagine it's probably not going according to the way they envisioned it to go. They're struggling, just real lack of numbers going forward at the moment. It's making it very easy for South Melbourne to defend.
Sun's come out. We've got a rainbow across BT Connor Reserve. Let's see if there's a pot of gold at the end of it for South Melbourne.
I like it, Josh. Get that one in the back pocket for a rainy day like today.
Mikola. It's got to be a good omen for young Ethan O'Sullivan. Luck of the Irish at right back today. There's a touch from Payos. Mikola. And off the ball collision between Bernardo and Tchaikovsky, and the Argentine forthcoming with the apologies.
It's well spotted by Jack Morgan. They tend to pay those fouls is very obvious for Bernardo. That push into Tchaikovsky.
Credit to the referee. It's obvious from here when we're facing the play on the left flank, and then it's happened out of your blind spot on the other side. You've got to have your head on a swivel. Negro. Back with Payos. Ryan Scott. Not put off by a sliding challenge of Mikola.
It's worth the gamble, really, in these conditions.
Well, we know what happened to the last goalkeeper who dwelt on the ball in this fixture.
It's an iconic moment, that one.
They really missed Javi Lopez that night, that's for sure.
It's been another pattern of Preston's first 45 minutes throughout the season. Just really slow ball speed. See Payos in that moment there, just dawdling on the ball. Miletis was clearly on. You need to play that pass earlier so you can get that momentum building going forward. The longer you dawdle on the ball, the easier it is for South Melbourne to just regain their shape and set up that defensive block.
Bernardo. Bernardo's challenge on Mihailidis, and he was late.
Starting to walk a fine line now, Bernardo.
He always walks a fine line.
Many happy memories for him at this ground as well.
And went off with injury in that game. Seemed to shift things in Preston's favour.
It's a couple couple of times now, those poor back passes, inviting that pressure from South Melbourne.
Well done by Pasquale. Uchida. Dobson. Just not on the same wavelength as the teammates who've played a lot more football than he has. Payos completely upended by Uchida. And a good advantage paid by Jack Morgan. And Jonas Markovski is in on goal. And it slides wide. A glaring miss. South Melbourne were cut open in an instant. Straight from Preston's goal kick. And really it should be 1-0 to the home side.
Jeez. It's got to go the other side of Harvey Lopez, not to that side that he decided to go to.
Or maybe use the left foot.
What a ball it was from Payos, though. Really sliced that South Melbourne defence apart. Despite that heavy challenge from Yoshida, it felt like Morgan was going to blow for the free kick, but luckily he let it go. But it should be 1-0 Preston. Markovski has to score that.
It would have been an assist for Jay Morgan if that goal had counted. It's best feeling as a referee when you pay a good advantage.
It's a big moment, though.
Suto. Lampard went to press. Jonas Markovski all on his own now. Markovski misses everybody with the cross.
So again, you can see the issues that they're having. Markovski wanted to play that cross earlier than he did, but Brooks, was taking his time to get in there, and no one else there. So allowed South Melbourne again to organise themselves for that cross.
And Preston haven't had too much joy in front of goal, but the best chance of the afternoon goes their way.
Definitely the best chance. Yankovic will be disappointed he didn't keep up that pace with Markovski as well.
Markovski. Suto had to work hard to keep it. Payos. Hard graft from Mielides to win it back. Markovski. Laid off for Foligno. The clouds have parted at Geneseo Stadium. And Preston respond after that disappointment a few moments ago. Missing the chance to take the lead. Suto hesitating, and the cross was on. The circulation of possession. South Melbourne very disciplined. Suto couldn't keep it against Pasquale. Mikola altered the challenge. Couldn't keep the ball in play. Dobson pressing like a man possessed. Tchaikovsky cool as a cucumber. Negro. Looks against O'Sullivan. Yanakopoulos coming across the shield, and he is the man who bails out South Melbourne's defence when seems to be moments of pressure. He covers both fullbacks. He's such a gem to have in the starting lineup. Tom Yanakopoulos. Foligno. Negro. Cuba. Suto! He wasn't far away.
That was much better from Preston. But quick interchange of passes, a lot of movement. They had numbers forward there. You could see Miailidis had pushed up as well, giving him extra numbers going forward.
So he's already proved his long-range bona fides against Hume City, Naoki Suto. Chris Oldfield, I'm sure, wants that one back. Spectacular drive nonetheless, and he almost had a second in successive rounds.
It's been really poor delivery from South Melbourne so far in this game. They're getting into good positions out wide. Just the end product hasn't been there.
Well, some players are overcompensating on this big pitch here at Genesee Steel Stadium. You're going to have to thump one in, missing the box entirely. Payos. Neatly done.
It's really started to grow into this game, Payos. This last 5 minutes has been really good for Preston.
I'm sure there's a sense of extra motivation for him as well against his former club. Precious few minutes in his natural position during his time at Lakeside. Yankovic. Lampard. Pasquale. Dovison. Early ball from Dovison is cut out by Tchaikovsky. O'Sullivan keeping his feet well. Sullivan's cross can't beat the first man, and we have a South Melbourne corner. Preston leaving two forward for the counter-attack. The rest of the players pile into the 6-yard box. Now Ryan Scott will have his hands full here. Lampard's delivery. Yankovic couldn't make much of that. Ryan Scott opts for the punch. Lovely touch from Lampard. Second wasn't bad either. Scott comes forward again and opts for the fist. Long-range effort blocked well by Markovski. Looked good off the boot too from Lampard. It was a crucial sliding challenge.
Smart from Pasquale there. Just kill the ball dead. Don't allow Preston to get you in transition.
It was from their own goal kick that Preston generated the chance of the afternoon. Let's see what they come up with here. South Melbourne alive to the danger of ML Payos.
See this goal kick set up like a set piece.
Brooks takes it out of the sky. Lynch passes it straight to Pasquale. Clean win by Negro. Excellent work. And a flag up against Suto again.
It's a momentum killer, that one. Did really well, Negro. Real positive play as well with that forward pass. Suto obviously not aware of his surroundings this afternoon. With an unfamiliar role for him in this Preston side today.
Possibly afford to hold his run. He's got pace to burn. A few false starts out of the starting blocks this afternoon, though. Iliopoulos. Control on the chest by Bernarda. Miailidis wins it back. Payos. Great vision from Emil Payos again. Markovski. Folino arriving. Footing him with a pass.
Needed to wait an extra second, Markowski, till Fuena got around.
Costly giveaway from Ali, and Payos chops Uchida to the ground.
Very intelligent foul there from Payos. He knew what was happening there.
Made it look as innocuous as
Yes.
possible.
Got away without getting a booking. He knew exactly what he was doing there.
Might be one each, given Eliopoulos' infringement earlier on, before Jack Morgan starts bringing out the yellow cards. Uchida might be in a bit of trouble here, as innocuous as the challenge looked.
It's the last thing South Melbourne need this afternoon.
Despite their fixture congestion, South Melbourne find themselves atop the NPL Victoria table. 5 wins from 7. 15 points, even when for a couple of fixtures there, the under-23s have been heavily involved. A superb effort from Sinishiko Hadzic and his coaching staff.
Remarkable effort, really, considering all the games they're playing, and probably only having their full-strength squad twice this season, opening round against Avondale and then in their last league fixture against Dandenong City. You could see them flexing in that game.
So far, the OFC experiment has worked a treat. The questions will come later when competition finishes and you've got a giant squad to manage minutes. Everyone expecting game time. Clean win from Markowski. Now it's too quick for Mikola. Suto with the first time touch. It's flown off his boot into the South Melbourne technical area.
Great work by Payos again in that tight space. Really quick feet. He's able to get himself out of trouble, create space for himself, and then just positive forward passing.
Laid off by Bernardo. Dovison. Dangerous ball. Tchaikovsky comes to the rescue for Preston. Brooks. Cuba lost his footing. Yannikopoulos. Turned over by South Melbourne. Mikola might fancy a shots. And it's against the shins of Jamal Ali and behind for another corner.
Could have gone anywhere, that deflection from Ali. Fortunately for Preston, goes out for a corner.
O'Sullivan entrusted with this corner. We'll get a retake.
We'd want to deliver the ball a little bit better this time. So they've been overcompensating. Some of the last few crosses have been under hit.
Lampard offering short. O'Sullivan. Again, can't beat the first man. Take 3. I'll say in his defence, the turf does dip down in that corner of the pitch. Interrupt your run up. They'll go short this time. Lampard. Lampard to the back post. And 1 minute up on Lucas Matia's board to add to the end of this first half.
That short corner was always going to end like that, Josh.
It was fair sight better than the first two long corners.
A fair point. So you could see after the second one, Sinisha was up on his feet, telling him to play it short.
If I was the corner taker, I'd be very amenable to that option after two failed attempts.
Should cross the ball with his head with that powerful header there.
I was about to say, that's a confidence builder. Nearly cleared the grandstand. And that's that. Scoreless first half in the big show 3.0. One big chance falling to the feet of Jonas Markovski, but he couldn't put his effort on target and past the on-rushing Javi Lopez. South Melbourne with a lot of possession and territory. But the only opportunity of note falling the way of Seb Pasquale on the volley. South Melbourne with little bench depth. We'll be hoping for most of their 11 players to see them through to the 90. Does Preston go to the Pine at half-time?
I don't think so. I think they started to grow into that half as it went on. You had the Suto chance as well for Preston. They've been defending quite comfortably. South Melbourne hasn't troubled them. They are starting to slowly get more numbers into attacking positions as that half went on. So I think they'll be happy with what they saw. South Melbourne probably need to look at the way they're attacking and put a bit more pressure on Preston. But it's a fairly even contest at the moment.
It's anyone's game. Stay with us on the other side. It's round 8 in Senol NPL Victoria at Genesteel Stadium, and the halftime score is Preston Lions 0, South Melbourne 0. Welcome back to Jenna Steele Stadium for the second half here. Preston Lions 0, South Melbourne 0 at the break. Jonas Markovski has just conceded that free kick. With the game's best chance after about half an hour. This one yet to really hit boiling point. Josh Parrish here alongside Mark Ivkovic. A marquee fixture in Senol NPL Victoria round 8. A bumper crowd in attendance despite the elements.
This game reminds me a lot of the game last year at Jenna Steele Stadium. It was very cagey, opening 45 and then exploded in the second half.
I don't think anyone remembers the first 45 minutes.
No, so...
And Max Mikula scores a bicycle kick in the 90s, but tends to take the headlines.
Similar at Lakeside as well, and the second half exploded in that one as well. So hoping for a much more entertaining second half. Still an entertaining first half, yeah. But Markovski chance and very tactical affair in the opening 45 minutes between these two sides.
Neither goalkeeper has made a save. I'm sure both coaches are keen to change that. Foligno. Mikula nipping in. Jamal Ali giving nothing away in the tackle.
Out of the 10 tackle from Jamal Ali there. Won the ball. Was able to cause a little bit of damage along the way.
If you leave the opposition star player limping, that's a win, I think, in a derby match. Max Mikula seems to be okay to run this off. Pasquale. See how cleverly he uses his body. Sam Pasquale. Spent so many years as a professional and gets scouted by Ajax for nothing.
Did well, Mialides, though, to keep his body next to Pasquale as well. Didn't allow him to break free. Had a bit of space to work with Pasquale.
Stops and props and slows things down for South Melbourne, Pasquale. Foligno nipping at Uchita's heels. Jankovic trying to change the point of attack. Now Eliopoulos. Dovison. Jankovic. Space and time to pick the pass. Campbell Dovison. Spotting the run of Ethan O'Sullivan. And it's beaten away by the palms of Ryan Scott, who was well positioned.
Very well positioned, Ryan Scott. Strong hands as well.
That'll go down as a shot. I think it was an attempted whipped cross from O'Sullivan, but put it into the mixer. You never know what might happen from that sort of distance. Max Mikula making a nuisance of himself in front of Ryan Scott. Pasquale that's the short corner. It's whipped in long. Scott flapping underneath it, and Uchita couldn't make the telling touch at the far post. There'll be another corner.
A bit nervy, Preston, defending these set pieces. A few nightmares from their last league game against Hume.
Jordan Lampard. Looking for the back post. Rashida heads it back across. Danger area. Clayton Brooks helping out defensively. And Noel Bernarda going over after the contact from Markovski. And South Melbourne have a free kick in a good area.
Markovski gave himself away there. Straight away looked back at the referee to see if he was going to blow for that. Great position for a free kick.
Be entrusted to Pasquale. Barrage of South Melbourne set pieces. Pasquale's delivery. Brooks can only help it on. Stefan Negro comes out cleanly with the ball. Cuba's the only option up the line. It's a clever dummy from Cuba. He was going nowhere with the ball.
Very, very clever. If he got his foot onto that, it would have been a very heavy touch. It's a strong pass from Negro.
Tchaikovsky. Intercepted by Lampard. Ali's header. Markovski. Now Naoki Suto. Ryan Scott with a bit to do. A few words exchanged with Mikola after the fact from the looks of things.
Like the ball got stuck under his foot, Ryan Scott.
Tchaikovsky. Leaves it a little short for Negro. Anderson couldn't arrest his momentum. Suto. Jamal Ali making his feelings pretty clear. Seeing that Max Mikola's repeat offending should be taking into consideration.
Jack Morgan making his feelings clear as well.
Good to see clear communication from both sides. That's the key. And, now Pasquale's taken down, and we will see the first booking of the afternoon. It was brewing. Emil Payos gets the yellow card.
Probably a fair decision there.
I think after the outburst a few moments ago, Jack Morgan had to put his stamp of authority on the game as well. And that tackle was perfectly timed for him to do so.
Yeah, as a victim of his teammates' outburst.
Probably worthy of a booking in its own right. Tempers bubbly. Australian football's great rivalries. Expect nothing less. Yankovic, O'Sullivan, give and go with Dovison. Pasquale involved as well. O'Sullivan tries something a little audacious. Yanakopoulos. Bernarda scampering back. And pounces on the loose ball. Noel Bernarda. Dovison. Sliding block from Negro. Bernarda again. Gets it back from Pasquale. Weighted pass to O'Sullivan. Now Bernarda to deliver. And Foligno was all on his own. It comes out as far as Mikola though. And it was well blocked by Markovski. O'Sullivan wins it back. Bernarda fancies it on his left. Shot blocked. South Melbourne with a second and third bite at the cherry here. It's away by Suto, not far enough. Bernarda. Dovison. Still Campbell Dovison! The man for the big moments. Campbell Dovison, the Doherty Cup final hero, comes up with an all-time classic goal for South Melbourne. Just 20 years of age, and with 2 big moments in the history books already.
Great first touch from Dovison, really completely wrong-footed Stefan Negro. Wrong-footed him that much, he had to pull out of blocking that shot, because if he dived in, he was going to foul him. Just what an absolutely perfect finish from Dovison. Ryan Scott, no chance at all. Found that little bit of space to work with Dovison. Couldn't ask for a better strike than that. Like you said, the man built for the big moment for South Melbourne. So many crucial goals last season for them in the big games. Steps up again. Struggling a little bit to get into the game, but has made a name for himself now. It felt like that goal was coming as well, Josh. That little 2-minute spell there from South Melbourne really had Preston on the ropes.
That's a marvellous finish from Dovison. And as you say, it hasn't really been his afternoon up until that point. But he sprung to life there. Gorgeous left-footed curling finish. Used the defender as a screen.
It's really their first sight at goal as well, South Melbourne. That's what this team's been so good at this season, is just staying in the contest and then delivering on the big moments.
Mikola. Floating ball. Dovison again! Tchaikovsky heads away. Now Brooks. Lane Brooks has a lot to do on his own here. He's not going to get there ahead of Eliopoulos. Uchida trying to spring the offside trap. Yuki Uchida. Don Felino on the scene in time. Negro. For a response, one of their leaders. Negro takes a heavy touch. Pasquale, too many options in front of him. Goes wide to the goal scorer. That goal means a lot for a former South Melbourne junior. On the books of 2 A-League clubs as well. Represented Australia at under 17 level, the Joeys. Now returning to his junior side. A goal against Preston will mean that little bit more.
Preston just need to settle things down here.
Uchida. Now Dovison seeing plenty of the ball. Whips it in. Off the forehead of Tchaikovsky. Preston sinking deeper and deeper inside their own half. Penned on the edge of the penalty area. Jankovic. Dovison getting free again. One to his left, trying to repeat the trick. Preston with bodies in the way that time, as you might expect. O'Sullivan to the byline. Cut out by Negro. You can see just how proactive the 2 South Melbourne centre-backs have been, keeping up this period of intense pressure.
Yeah, it's really smart football by Jankovic and Eliopoulos. So they've pushed on just to really put the foot on the accelerator, use the momentum from the goal to try and get another one.
It's one back by Pasquale. Zach Chianchi will be first cab off the rank.
A little bit chaotic at the moment, Preston. Just panicking a little bit. A bit shell-shocked, going 1-0 down. You need to just calm things down a little bit, get your foot back on the ball. slow the tempo down and work your way back into it.
Yanakopoulos, good win. Slightly ironic given how many first-team regulars South Melbourne selected today, that one of the men who comes into the lineup, Campbell Dovison, gets the goal.
You said those delivered in the big games for South Melbourne. Probably hasn't started in those games last year, but
a half-time substitute, famously, against Heidelberg.
It's a big double change for Preston coming up.
Looks like Luke Francis is ready to go. So back to a more traditional striker. This is Mikola off the short routine. Mikola! Oh, he's caught Ryan Scott at his near post. And South Melbourne have two. Max Mikola sends the South away fans wild. Preston caught out off the bait and switch. The short throw in routine comes back to the long throw specialist, and he did the rest.
Really intelligent work from Mikola, creating that space for himself. There's no way that ball should find the back of the net, really. Ryan Scott needs to do better.
It's as if he was blindsided by his own defender.
Yeah, watching it back, you'd say that's probably the reason why he didn't get clean hands on it. But nonetheless, Preston fell for that trap from Mikola. Again, much like the first goal, you could see the second goal coming. And the pressure being applied from South Melbourne. So they came out with a game plan. If we get one, really put your foot down and try and get another to get a comfortable lead. So they stepped it up another gear after that first goal. And Preston pinned back in their defensive half that whole time.
Max Mikola loves playing against Preston. Bicycle kick winner in their last meeting at Lakeside. What could prove decisive today.
Preston a little bit rattled there. They're about to pull the trigger on that double substitution and get second thoughts now.
I'm not sure why a second goal changes the equation.
Probably enhances that move that they were looking to
Probably
do.
means you were right in the first place and something needed to change. Maybe they're pondering more significant structural changes to the team.
With a reversal for them in this game. Usually it's a poor first half. It's been a poor second half for them. It's been all South Melbourne since the break.
Certainly Sinisa Kohadzic's message at halftime has resonated. Ali. Ali coughing up the corner. Drawing the Bronx cheer from the South Melbourne away support.
Up
Just
and about.
emblematic of it, isn't it?
They're up and about, the South Melbourne fans. That mistake from Ali probably sums it up for Preston at the moment. Just can't clear their lines. Can't keep the ball at the moment. Even their clearances are scuffed and going straight back to South Melbourne. There's some moments just before that second goal they need to calm things down.
Pasquale. Cuba. The man on in the middle. Couldn't find Foligno. Gives an opening to Lampard. Mikola perched on the top of the box. And Sullivan chasing this one. Comes back off Markovski. Campbell Dovison motoring in to win the ball, and then a clever drag back from Eliopoulos puts paid to a Preston counter-attack.
Going to take an almighty effort now from Preston. Definitely something needs to change.
Well, the paperwork is being filed for the substitution. Or is it?
Looks like a triple sub coming up. Matt Bozanovsky's getting ready to come on.
We've missed him due to injury. Payos fell. Free kick taken quickly.
Be a quadruple even. Francis, Romero, Chianchi.
Preston coaching staff certainly not happy. Jamal Ali galloping forward. Laid off by Cuba. Suto! Was he brought down? The Preston fans baying for a spot kick.
From our vantage point, it looked like it was all ball.
I'm not sure I agree with you, Ifka.
Yeah, I think his Giannakopoulos' foot catches him first, doesn't it? In the replay.
It looked like Suto got that first touch on the ball. And Tom Giannakopoulos is a very lucky boy indeed. The referee only gets to see it once, not like us. And now that quadruple change, as you were flagging, is made. Foligno coming off, Leighton Brooks. James Markovsky. So an all-new look front line. Romero, Francis and Chianchi. Bozanovsky on at the back. Jamal Ali will come out to right back with a bit more attacking freedom.
It's a completely different look for them now, isn't it?
Preston completely transformed with their bench reinforcements, and the longer this game goes on, maybe it will favour Preston, with South Melbourne having an under-23 side in reserve. Pasquale, the first team, playing pretty well at the moment. Lampard, blocked by Romero. Fresh legs flip the script for Preston. They've got a mountain to climb here.
They need to get one quickly to get themselves back into it, obviously. Time's going to start running out. The more they become desperate, the more South Melbourne will be able to catch them out on the counter.
We've got the MotoGP going on in the background.
Like Saturday.
Motorsport was more of a lakeside thing. Not sure if that's coming through on your effects, Michael, or not. Payos. Francis. Forced wide. Against the shins of Eliopoulos. Preston corner. Wouldn't believe their first corner of the night. In the afternoon, I should say.
The lights are on, Josh. Forgive him for thinking it's night time.
It's weird being at Geneseo Stadium during the day. Cuba. Decent delivery. Ali was there, couldn't get clean purchase. Payos. Romero. Still Jason Romero. Laid off to Tchaikovsky. Mialides. That was an attempted pass. And didn't get the angle on it required to find Sian Cuba.
Sorry, Josh. It's a big moment for Chianchi, Romero, and Francis. You know, they all would have been bitterly disappointed to be on the bench for this game. So now they've all got an opportunity to prove Markovsky wrong and get their team back into the game. Been a real lack of intensity in the second half from Preston. Something you don't really say about Zoran Markovsky's side. Usually it's, you know, heavy metal style football in your face, high pressing. Haven't seen any of that in this second half from Preston.
Tchaikovsky. Clever layoff from Payos. Ali. Cuba wants it in the channel. Romero takes over instead. Romero headed as far as Cuba. Crowd wanted him to shoot, he did. Too many bodies in the way. Free man on the right in Romero, but Payos couldn't find him.
South Melbourne's been in this position time and time again under Sinisho, where they get a lead and able to see games out. I think they're very comfortable at doing it.
Chianchi. It's Preston slowing things down a touch. And they have created opportunities this afternoon. It's usually been going 100 miles an hour end to end before South Melbourne have a chance to set things up.
Probably just need to slowly work their way back into it, build some momentum.
Ali. Dennis thought there was a push. Jack Morgan not interested. Dovison. Skips past Negro. Still Campbell Dovison. It's a great run. It's a decent cut back and it misses. The crowd of three assembling at the top of the box. Romero looks to take on Lampard and is fouled.
Romero needed to switch the play there. Cuba was away, had a lot of space on this left-hand side. Thought about it, just didn't have the confidence to play that pass.
In fact, it was Mikola, I should say. And it looks like the yellow ticket is out. So a change for South Melbourne. On comes Thierry Papadimitriou. And Ollie Kubalay ready to enter the fray for Preston as well. And it looks like Max Mikola will go off on the far side. Emil Payos replaced as well.
Yeah, looked like he run out of legs, Payos.
It was great in the first half.
Just nowhere near match fit yet. After that lengthy injury spell.
A goal scoring afternoon again for Max Mikola against Preston. He'll take his lap of honour in front of the South Melbourne away fans. Pasquale. Dovison. He's come to life since his goal. And young Papadimitriou couldn't make the most of that.
It's been the game changer in the second half. Has Dovison. He's having a lot of joy on this right hand side. It's definitely getting the better of Negro.
Used to him as a super sub, you'd be forgiven for thinking he did come on at half time. Such has been the difference. Mialides.
Preston's going to work out that these high balls to the forward line just isn't working. Yankovic and Eliopoulos, Giannakopoulos dropping in as well. We'll keep inviting those long balls to them because they're defending them very, very easily.
It's been a textbook away performance from South Melbourne so far. Preston looking to answer back through Chianchi. Negro. Cuba. Lay off for Kubalay. Just very few gaps to exploit now. Kubalay. Preston have made all their changes. Ali. Mialides. for Cuba. And Lampard draws the foul and draws the ire of the Preston crowd in the process. Another change for the men in blue. Luca D'Urso continues his injury comeback. Will be an early end to the afternoon for the other goal scorer, Campbell Dovison.
Sensational second half from Dovison.
Cuba. D'Urso ricochets kindly for South. Ali. Ali with the switch of play. Chianchi isolated against O'Sullivan. That is superb defending. Really well done by Ethan O'Sullivan.
Great defending, especially Chianchi's got fresh legs with pace to burn. Really good defending from O'Sullivan.
Romero carrying it in field. Has to pick an eye of the needle pass. Bernarda goes to grounds. Spills out to Romero. Thought about the shots. Chianchi. Still Chianchi. Oh, Eliopoulos with the nervy moments. Almost turning it beyond his own goalkeeper.
Positive play from Chianchi though, getting his head up. Not a bad ball across the face. I liked it low and driven.
Probably the best piece of Preston centre forward play all afternoon from Jacob Eliopoulos. So close to a goal. Cuba. High ball to the back stick. Bozanovsky draws a good save out of Lopez, scrambling across his goal line.
Great save from Lopez. It's a good header from Bozanovsky. Thought it was overhit from Cuba, but Bozanovsky judged it well. Fantastic save from Lopez.
It's really the first save he's had to make. Cuba hangs one high. Bozanovsky. Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky sliding in. Ali. Francis! Flag is up. It was back off the woodwork, but it wouldn't have counted.
Flag was up nice and early. It's a little bit close. I don't think he was too far offside. It's good scrambling by Preston though to create the opportunity. A bit of chaos inside the box. That should give them the momentum they need to keep going for it. South Melbourne looked a little bit shaky in that moment.
Might have been slightly controversial if it had gone in, because it looked to me like it ricocheted back off a South Melbourne player.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He was definitely in an offside position, Francis, but it comes back off the defensive team.
And thankfully the ball didn't find the back of the net. We were in World War III at that touchline.
Nathan O'Sullivan calling for the pickle juice.
You can tell he hasn't been a regular for South Melbourne over the last few weeks.
Made his debut last year in the cup win over Pascoe Vale. Lampard. Oh, wonderful ball. Tommy Giannakopoulos should have made it 3.
Definitely should have made it 3. What a cross from Lampard. What a world-class cross. Preston to allow Giannakopoulos with that space though. Definitely should have been 3-0 South Melbourne.
Silver service from Jordan Lampard. He has some left foot.
Very underrated fullback in this competition, Lampard. doesn't probably get the recognition that he deserves for how good he actually is. He's fantastic defensive worker. He's very good going forward as well with his deliveries.
Really flourished since arriving in South Melbourne for a somewhat journeyman career. Cuba with a disguised pass. Chianchi gets the better of O'Sullivan. Cuba! And it's a tame effort. Still better forward combination play for Preston, but they don't have long. It's 10 minutes of regulation to play.
I feel like if South Melbourne can survive the next 5 minutes, they're able to see it out.
Yeah, if Preston just get one, we know the crowd will lift and the pressure will rise.
Will be in the back of Sinisha Kahajic's mind as well.
Bernarda. Papadimitriou. A wonderful touch. Papadimitriou across goal. And it's turned into his own net by Jamal Ali. South Melbourne 3 and clear.
This is just a horrible moment for Preston. Really poor defending. Far too easy for Papadimitriou to get in behind Matt Bozanovsky there. Gave him acres of space to work with. It's far too easily gets behind him. And Ali had to stick his foot out. So South Melbourne, an attacker behind him, just stuck the wrong foot out. Needed to be his opposite foot to clear his lines.
It's almost a similar stab to the one Jacob Eliopoulos had a few minutes ago. There's such are the fine margins in football. That should be that for South Melbourne. A famous away win at Jenna Steele Stadium.
That's definitely the ball game, Josh. Just comes from a throw-in. Didn't win the second ball yet again. Bernarda does well, and Matt Bozanovsky needs to do better in that situation. It's far too easy to get around him.
Snapped forward by Mialides.
South Melbourne definitely laying a marker down for the rest of the competition. Heidelberg dropping points again this afternoon. Able to extend their lead. Just a credit to Sinisha Kahajic, really. A lot of the supporters coming to the ground today wouldn't have expected too much.
This is Uchida. Oh, beautiful work from Yuki Uchida. And it's teed up for the strike for Durso. And it's well off target.
It's been a great all-round performance from South Melbourne, really.
And a few bit-part players, the youngsters, have flourished under the guidance of the more experienced players around them. Telling contributions from Dobson and Papadimitriou.
That's where credit needs to go to Kahajic yet again. You know, he's been able to get the absolute most out of these youngsters and allow them to flourish and put in great performances for South Melbourne when they needed them.
I do wonder how many of these players he's actually coached in his previous role. At least been aware of their progression through the club as a TD. Cuba, great footwork from him. Tried to do it all himself, and that's wide of the mark.
Makes his flight to Fiji tonight much more enjoyable for Sinisha Kahajic. A couple of beers on that flight, I reckon.
It's Fiji Airways might be lucky enough to order a mojito or something a little bit more tropical.
We spoke about the big show here at Jenna Steele Stadium in the first half. We spoke about how different it is. It's light years apart, the South Melbourne team, from that one that played here last year. What a turnaround in 12 months. They started their relegation, scrapped that game, and now they're genuine title contenders, South Melbourne, this season.
Durso, deftly done. Pasquale, gorgeous from Pasquale. They're flooding forward with numbers here. O'Sullivan probably pulled the trigger too early.
It's good work by Durso though in that tight area.
There's a tidy player come through the ranks at Melbourne City. Do you have a pick for man of the match? I'd say Seb Pasquale would be right up there for me.
Yeah, he's definitely controlled the game, hasn't he? Very impressive in the middle of the park.
O'Sullivan. It's tough to call that a long throw when you've got Mickler and Painter Andrews in the squad, but decent distance. Francis. Preston players still have the belief here to chase something borderline impossible. Cuba. The ball behind. The quiver with the performance of Tom Yanakopoulos either.
He's been everywhere this afternoon. It's just been an all-round complete team performance from South Melbourne. Yankovic and Eliopoulos defending extremely well. Lampard, O'Sullivan coming in at right back and doing a job for them. Uchida in the first half, sensational. Died off a little bit in the second half. A lot of the play's been down this right-hand side.
Uchida. Kubele.
Be soul searching for Preston after this one, I think.
2 defeats on the bounce in the league will do that. Angus Angelatos is ready to come on.
Such presence, doesn't he, Sinisha Kahajic on the touchline, just watching him giving instructions out. It's a bold move from South Melbourne when they appointed him. It's definitely paid dividends for him.
Lampard. Even that free kick looked superb off the boot. Durso. South Melbourne throw. Noel Bernarda gets a warm round of applause on his way off. O'Sullivan. Durso. Luca Durso to the byline. It's turned behind for a corner by Mielides.
Risky challenge from Mielides. It could have gone wrong there.
He was already on a yellow card as well, not to mention the chance of conceding a penalty. Lampard on set piece duties again. Pasquale offering short. He'll try the change of angle. Lampard drills it in low, looking for a repeat performance of the Max Mikela goal.
Why not?
Minutes up on the fourth officials board. South Melbourne looking to extend their record over Preston to 33 wins from 58 meetings. They generally have the better of this matchup.
One of the most convincing ones that they've had. Last year both games were tight contests.
even the cup game the year before, while the scoreline blew out, Preston were in that game right up until the last few minutes. And Aaron Anderson was sent off, and Harry Sawyer scored a free kick from about 30 metres out.
Total domination by South Melbourne in the second half.
Stefan Negro caught in possession. And a whistle from Jack Morgan. Kubalay. Chianchi taken out by Lampard, who's saying he got the ball.
I don't think he did.
Tchaikovsky. Negro. Negro hangs it up high. Chianchi couldn't latch onto it. And really, the Preston substitutes haven't ignited the game either.
No, they didn't have the impact that the Preston coaching staff probably thought they would have. Had that probably 2-minute patch just before the South Melbourne third goal, where it looked like they were gathering some momentum.
It's going to be a fun flight to Fiji tomorrow for the rest of this squad. We're joining their teammates.
Probably enjoying watching this game from the hotel in Fiji. It's just remarkable how competitive they are with everything that they've got going on. I don't think they expected this in their wildest dreams to be clear on top. And doing fairly well in the OFC competition as well.
Mialides. Backwards header from Lampard.
Really smart from Lampard. Up and about the South Melbourne fans, they're loving what they're seeing.
Uchida. They're going to make it 4. Durso. Forced wide by Negro.
Pulled the trigger first time, Durso. Great work from Uchida.
I did ask Yuki Uchida where all his energy comes from, one of the OFC post-match interviews. He replied, I don't know, I'm Japanese. So it's in the blood for Yuki Uchida, at least according to him. Lampard brought down. A few theatrical rolls for the cameras as well.
A few tackles out of frustration in the last couple of minutes from Preston.
And that will do it for South Melbourne as Jack Morgan brings this game to a close. It was emphatic in the second half for Sinishiko Hadzic and his side on the road. Preston never really got going after that first half miss from Jonas Markovski. Superb opening goal. And their budding young star, Campbell Dovison. A double in the cup final last season to lift the Doherty Cup, and now he scored the decisive goal. Their biggest regular season fixture of the year. So another story chapter for this bright young talent. And Max Mikola catching out Brian Scott at his near post off a bait and switch throw in routine. That kept Preston guessing. And finally, to add insult to injury, an own goal from the right fullback Jamal Ali, turning into his own net after some superb lead-up work from young substitute Thierry Papadimitriou. South Melbourne, despite their competing Oceania commitments, are dominant on the road here in round 8. The final score, Preston Lions 0, South Melbourne 3.
Yeah, dominant performance from South Melbourne, really deserved the 3 points. Preston never in that contest in the second half. I'll be disappointed with that. And, these big games is all about moments, as we say. Markovski had that moment in that first half and was made to rue for that miss. And South Melbourne capitalised on their moments in the second half. It's a really dominant display. They'll enjoy those 3 points, especially away from home.
Well, maybe one moment of controversy for Preston fans to cling on to, with Naoki Suto denied a penalty in the second half. But in truth, South Melbourne well and truly superior this afternoon at Jenner Steel Stadium. We'll sign off here in Senol NPL Victoria round 8. The final score once again, Preston Lions 0, South Melbourne 3.
Yeah, there's been.